You probably think goosebumps keep you warm, and you'd be wrong. Right now, look at your arm. Picture that little prickle when a cold breeze hits you. Tiny bumps rise out of nowhere. The hair on your arms stands up. Your skin goes pebbled, like a plucked chicken. It feels like your body is doing something useful. It feels like a clever warming trick. But here's the strange part. Goosebumps barely warm you at all. So why does your body still do it? The real answer is much weirder. It's a reflex written into you millions of years ago. The better question isn't, why do you get goosebumps when you're cold? The better question is this: why is your body still raising fur you don't have? Because that, genuinely, is what it's trying to do. Let's start with what's actually happening on your skin. Every hair on your body sits in a tiny pocket called a follicle, and attached to each follicle is a microscopic muscle. That muscle has a real name, the erector pili. It's almost too small to think about, but you have millions of them, scattered across nearly every patch of your skin. When you get cold, your nervous system fires a signal, and all of those tiny muscles contract at the same time. Each one yanks its hair upright. And because the muscle is attached to the side of the follicle, pulling the hair up also tugs the skin into a little mound. That little mound is your goosebump. Multiply that by 1,000,000 and your arm looks like a relief map. So the bumps aren't really about the skin. They're the side effect of your body trying to lift hair that, on most of you, isn't really there anymore. Think about that for a second. Your body is still pulling the strings on fur that evolution mostly took back. Now, here's where the common story gets shaky. You've probably heard that goosebumps trap a layer of warm air between your hair and your skin, like a built-in puffer jacket. For a furry animal, that's actually true. A cold squirrel puffs up, the fur traps air, and the air slows heat loss. It's a beautifully simple system, and a lot of mammals rely on it every winter. You can picture a bird doing the exact same thing. A sparrow in a freezing morning fluffs into a little feathered ball, doubling in size in seconds. Underneath all that drama, the same kind of tiny muscles are pulling each feather upright. Different animal, different outer layer, same trick. But look down at your forearm again. You don't have a coat of fur. You have wispy, fine hairs that, when they stand up, trap almost no air at all. So when your erector pili muscles fire, you get the gesture of warming up without the actual benefit. It's like flipping a light switch in an empty room. The wiring is still there. The bulb, mostly, is not. Scientists who study thermoregulation describe human goosebumps as essentially vestigial, a leftover reflex from a much hairier version of us. They still happen on cue, but their original payoff is gone. So, if it doesn't really keep you warm, why hasn't evolution turned it off? Here's where it gets interesting. That same erector pili reflex didn't just exist to fight the cold, it also fired whenever your distant ancestors felt threatened, startled, or aggressive. You've seen this in animals all the time. A scared cat puffs into a fluffy balloon. A dog raises a stripe of fur down its spine. A chimpanzee bristles when it's angry. That puffed-up look has a job. It makes the animal look bigger and harder to bite. And underneath all that drama, the mechanism is exactly the same as your goosebumps, tiny muscles yanking hairs upright. In other words, your shiver bumps and a cat's fluff-up are cousins. Same wiring, same reflex, different outfit. This is why you also get goosebumps when you're not cold at all. A scary scene in a movie, a sudden loud noise, a powerful song, a memory that hits you sideways. Your skin reacts as if there's fur to raise. Your body still treats awe and fear like a tiny emergency. It's basically your old alarm system running quietly under your modern life. Now do this for me. Next time you feel goosebumps from a chill, run your fingertips lightly over your forearm. Feel that subtle resistance, that pebbly texture. You're literally touching a reflex that's older than your species. Notice how it doesn't really change how warm you feel. You can shiver and bump up at the same time, and the goosebumps don't seem to be doing the heavy lifting. The shivering is the real warming engine, tiny rapid muscle contractions burning fuel to produce heat. The bumps are more like a ghost in the machine. Beautiful, automatic, mostly symbolic. That's wild. Quick pause. I'm curious about something. When was the last time you got goosebumps that had nothing to do with the cold? Maybe a song that hit just right, or a moment that gave you that full body shiver. Drop it in the comments. I want to read these. I'll be down there reading them. Okay, back to your body. Because the next part is, honestly, the strangest twist of all. If Goosebumps barely warm modern humans, you'd expect the reflex to be slowly fading out. And there are hints that, in evolutionary terms, it might be. But your body hasn't let go of it yet. In fact, researchers studying the erector pili muscle and the stem cells around your hair follicles have found something genuinely surprising. The same nerves and muscles that give you goosebumps also seem to play a role in keeping your hair follicles healthy and capable of growing new hair follicles healthy and capable of growing new hair. In other words, the reflex isn't just a leftover. It might still be quietly maintaining the system it once served. The cold signal travels from your skin to your nervous system. The nervous system tells those tiny muscles to contract, and that contraction may help signal the follicle stem cells to stay active. The useless part of Goosebumps might be keeping the hair part of the system on standby. This sounds fake, but it's real biology. A reflex with no obvious payoff still pulling its weight, just in a way nobody noticed for centuries. This is still being studied, and scientists don't claim it explains everything. But the picture forming is fascinating. Your goosebumps aren't just a glitch. They're a thread connecting your skin, your nerves, your muscles, and your follicles, all working off the same ancient signal. A signal that, for most of evolutionary history, meant one thing: get bigger, get warmer, get ready. Now let that land for a second. The same reflex that puffed up a frightened ancestor in a freezing night millions of years ago is firing on your arm at a chilly bus stop today. Same muscles, same nerves, same instinct. Just a much hairless animal carrying it forward. And here's the part I love most. You can't choose to do goosebumps. You can't flex an erector pili the way you flex a bicep. You can clench your jaw, wiggle your fingers, raise an eyebrow. But the tiny muscles that give you goosebumps are wired into the part of your nervous system that runs automatically. The system that handles your heartbeat, your breathing in your sleep, your pupil shrinking in sunlight. Which means every time you get goosebumps, your body is doing something you literally cannot fake. It's pure reflex, pure history, pure you on autopilot. There's something almost poetic about that. The most ancient parts of you don't ask permission. They just speak up through your skin. Try this right now for one more second. Imagine stepping out of a hot shower into a cool room. Picture that first wave of air hitting your damp skin. Your shoulders tighten. The hair on your arms lifts. That whole choreography is happening with zero input from you. Your conscious mind is barely involved. Some part of you that doesn't even know your name is already reacting. It's a small, strange reminder that you are not just one person. You are also a very old animal in a very modern body. So the next time a cold wind hits your arms and that wave of bumps rises up, you'll know what's really happening. Your body isn't trying to warm you. Not really. It's trying to raise a coat you no longer have. It's running a program written long before language, long before clothes, long before the idea of a cold morning even existed. And for a few seconds, you get to feel that old self under your skin. A reflex from a hairier ancestor tapping you on the shoulder going, "I'm still here." If your skin is tingling just a little right now, that's the point. That's your body listening. If you enjoyed feeling your own biology like this, hit that like button. It genuinely helps Bodyquirk a lot. Subscribe so the next quirk of your body lands right in your feed. And here's my question for the comments. What's a body reaction you've always wondered about but never looked up? Drop it below. The weirdest ones might become the next video. Next time, we're going somewhere even stranger, into the reason you can't tickle yourself, no matter how hard you try. Your body has a surprisingly clever explanation. I can't wait to show you. Until then, pay attention to your skin today. It has a lot more to say than you think.